Hey guys, let me get a little light going. It's JayTee here with the final thoughts video on this ZMT 10. It's got a couple of names to it, the 9106, a couple of things, but I'll put some information down in the description. But you guys see clearly it says Thunder ZMT 10 on there. This is actually the version 2 of this truck, and I got this from Gearbest.com. You guys gotta excuse me, I'm kind of in the war room working on a couple of things, but I figured I'd go ahead and do my final thoughts video on this. So first of all, you guys, this is a brushless four-wheel drive monster truck that comes with a LiPo and charger, and you get all that for about 190 bucks. With shipping, you're looking at about 10 to 15 bucks. You get this from Gearbest.com. You're looking at about 5 to 8 days, business days, for this to actually get to you. So got this truck, ran it on 2S. You're going to get about 23 to 25, 26 miles per hour out of the stock 2S. That's a 25C, 2500 milliamp LiPo. And with the 3S LiPo, which I did some tests on, you're going to get about between 38 and about 40, 41 miles per hour, which is good for this. It comes with a 3500 kV motor and a 60 amp speed control, which I'll show to you guys in just a minute. So right off the bat, you guys know when I first ran this, one of the shocks actually came loose. One of the pieces, the piece of the shock was actually stripped in here, so I had to replace that on there. But since then, I haven't had any issues. And I looked at other videos of this truck as well. No one else has had that issue, so that could have just been a one-off fluke with this. But other than that, I haven't had any other problems or issues with it. When I ran it on 3S, the wheelie bar did come into play. So it did a lot of wheelies, especially on road when it got more traction and stuff. And I didn't have any problems or issues with the diff. The body's held up pretty well, and the truck and stuff jumped pretty well. So overall, the truck was good. Tire compound was good because I didn't find myself wanting more traction or having too much traction, which just too much traction is kind of hard to get and ready to run. There are some companies that are doing better with their tire selection, but this has been good too for what this truck is worth. One thing about the truck is it does kind of lean forward, kind of at an angle like that, just a little bit. It's because the shocks are the same size in the front as they are in the rear, so it does lean a little bit, almost like a ramp effect towards the front at an angle like that. It's not too bad, it's not too noticeable, but that is one thing that you see about this truck. Taking this off and looking at the interior of the truck, you guys see they have this cover here. This is to help keep the truck, you know, from getting all kinds of dust, grime, dirt in it, and also makes it a little bit more water resistant. And also, if you ran this on a beach with sand and stuff, it's going to keep stuff from getting inside there. And I think it's about 16 screws or so to remove this casing from here, and then it's just all flat out. Once this is removed, you actually need this on there because these two screws here, these are going to be screws for the actual steering setup for it. It needs that in there. It needs this placed over top of it for that. Running this on 2S, the motor got, you know, barely warm. I mean, it was still warming up, but running on 3S, I got temps at about 140 to 150 or so. So running 3S is going to put more stress on it, but it still ran fine. Didn't have any problems or overheating or anything, and the ESC held up fine as well. No problems with anything with any of the electronics at all with this truck, and the suspension setup had been fine as well. One thing I do recommend is if you get this truck and you're going to, you know, run a little bit more power into it, I do recommend going ahead and putting some thicker oil in the differentials. I think it may just have some grease and stuff in there, and it'll hold up without doing that, but that's just to assure that it'll last a lot longer as far as the differentials go. You don't have to worry about shimming them or anything, but I do recommend putting some thick oil in there between 40 and 60K. You don't have to go real crazy with it. Maybe between 30 and 50 or something, but it'd be your discretion with that. But I do recommend, if you get this truck, to do that. And I do also recommend putting a little bit of light top, not a lot, but just a tad bit on the wheel nuts, because one of mine did come loose. Actually came loose twice. This one came loose and that one came loose when I was running it once on 2S and then on 3S. It did get a little loose, so I had to tighten that up. And then one other thing as well is this battery component. You guys see there's a body clip here. You pull this out and this actually flips up and you can pull your battery out. The only other time I've seen something like this has been on some of the HPI Bullet series where they had that as well. The one thing about this is that it's fine for these D type connectors, but when you start getting to the T type connectors, something that's a lot larger, you're going to have to enlarge this hole, which is what I had to do here, because when I used some other types of batteries as well, I had to make this hole a lot bigger so that I can actually fit those connectors through here. And if you use Traxxas, oh man, I don't even know how you're going to get those Traxxas ones through here. or even like EC3. Those are pretty big as well. I don't think anybody would use any XT90s or 60s on here, but regardless, whatever size or type of connector you use, we'll have to enlarge this here. So one other plus with this truck is this aluminum chassis. Not too many 10 scales at all come with aluminum chassis, especially in this price range. So that was another huge plus because that helps with some of the durability and toughness of the truck, and helps with some of the weight too. Helps keep that weight down so that even if your truck does have a high center of gravity, it's not going to flip as much. And it is distributed pretty even as well. It's not just like they put a thin metal plate here and the rest is plastic. So that was a good thing as well. It has adjustable turnbuckles, as you guys see on there as well. So it does have a lot of dirt and gravel because I have been running the Hades out of it. And it does have adjustable shocks as well. You guys see there threaded body shocks in there, so you can adjust that. The shocks are a plastic body, but it does have an aluminum cap here to kind of keep those from popping off when you're jumping and stuff. So all in all, guys, this has been a good truck. I'm kind of running out of disk space too. I'm seeing some alerts coming up. But all in all, this has been a good truck. Would I purchase this again? I definitely would. Like I said, right now it's still on sale. It should still be on sale. I'll put a link in the description if you guys are interested in looking at this and learning a little bit more about it. But this has been a good truck because there's brush trucks that cost more than this that don't have some of the capability stuff this truck has. So anyway, guys, that is a final thoughts on this video, on this truck at least. Radio and stuff was fine for it. No problems with that. 2.4 gigahertz for AA's. You get your basic adjustments on there and stuff as well. Get that light not to blind you guys with that. So no issues and no problems. This has been a good truck. So you guys, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos, and JayTee RC t-shirts are available as well. You guys, be sure to at least go and check that out. And if you want to support me, you can purchase one of those t-shirts. So guys, stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.